So in this session, I'm going to talk about EIGRP neighbor command. I have two routers here in this topology. As you can see, they have a link between them that doesn't support broadcast. So what I'm going to do is to make sure that the adjacency between two routers is going to somehow be created. But before doing anything, what I'm going to ask you is to click on that subscribe button. Also, there is a bell button there. If you click on that and activate that, anytime that I post a new video, you're going to receive it as soon as possible. Give me a thumbs up too. That's going to encourage me to create more of these kind of videos for you. So if I go to router 1 here, show IP interface as brief, the specific interface which I'm going to talk about this is serial 10. So serial 10 has connection to serial 10 on the other side. So if I try to see if there is a connectivity, you can see that the ping is successful. There is no problem connecting to the other side. And if I try to enable EIGRP, so what I'm going to do is to go to configuration mode, and I'm going to talk rather EIGRP, let's say for example 100. And I'm going to go with the default commands that I have, and also I can set an EIGRP router ID as well. What I'm going to do is to type 12001 and a wildcard mask of 0000 to enable EIGRP on this interface. Also, I'm going to have network 1111.0000. Also, I'm going to make sure that loopback interface is going to be passive. Let's go to router 2 and do the same thing there. So show IP interface brief tells me that I have a serial 10 connected to the other side. We check the connectivity, we have no problem. So we are going to go to router EIGRP 100, no auto summary. And of course we start typing the neighbors. So 2222.0000, and now I'm going to add the major network here, 12.002.0.000, and hit enter. And now I'm waiting for the adjacency to be created, and there is no adjacency. Why? Because the link between the two routers doesn't support broadcast. So what does broadcast have to do with multicast? As a matter of fact, when I say a link doesn't support broadcast, it means that that doesn't support multicast as well. Most of the time, of course, not all the time. So what should I do, and how can I fix this problem? What I need to do is to use neighbor on EIGRP. As soon as I tell the EIGRP process to, consider there is someone on the other side, even if you cannot hear from that, then EIGRP is going to start sending messages using unicast messages, not multicast, right? So what I'm going to do is to do this. So I just go here and I type neighbor, and neighbor is going to be 12.0.0.1, and of course there are some options, and it will ask me on which interface this is. My neighbor, I'm going to tell it that it is on serial 10 and hit enter. The same thing should be done on the other side. So what I'm going to do is to copy this line, as a matter of fact, go to router 1, and I'm going to say that neighbor 12.002 is on serial 10. So you can send unicast messages, unicast hellos instead of multicast hello to the other side, and I'm going to hit enter. And after some time, I can see that the neighbor adjacency is going to be created for me. And here we go. You see that this tells me that there is a neighbor change, and it says that neighbor 12.002 is a new adjacency. So if I just try to show IP, let me go to privilege mode, that is much better. Show IP EIGRP neighbor, and it says that there is a neighbor here. It doesn't say anything about the type of neighbor that we have. Let's go to details, as a matter of fact, and see what we have here. In details, it says that it is on serial 10. Again, it says it is static neighbor, which means that we have created this neighbor. We have explicitly told the EIGRP process to set a neighbor here. Now, does it have any difference from a normal neighbor? Not really. So if I just try show IP EIGRP topology here, it says that I have received these routes. All of them are in passive mode. There is no problem. Show IP route again. is going to tell me that yes, I have these routes received from the other side. These are the costs and everything that I have calculated, and you can use it. So if I just try to ping 2222, and I can of course source it from my loopback 0 as well, you can see that everything is working just fine. So this is how you use neighbor command here. The same of course can be applied to RIP. I didn't explain this in my RIP section. That is because RIP is not a common protocol these days. It is just for learning and understanding the concepts. But here, what I did here, adding the neighbor, you can do it on RIP, and this is going to yield the same result as I did here.